All right, time for another overview. This one is my FMS FCX10 LC80 Pro. I got this beginning of the year, got it on AliExpress. I think I got it about $90 cheaper than I could have got it over here in the States. I had to wait, I think it was like 2 months for it though. It did kind of suck, but you know, saved the 90 bucks or so. And I think it was still kind of spring's, like kind of winterish season anyways. So I think that I didn't really lose much time. Overall, it's probably one of the more stock 1/10 trucks I have, sort of, I guess. I added the lights, the wheels I put on. There's some Trail vintage wheels. They have inserts in them, like silicone inserts. I put a Fusion 1800 in this instead of the stock brushless, which the brushless was fine and it worked okay. But it didn't have a good drag brake, and I wanted a little bit more. And I also wanted a little bit more speed for trailing, but not a ton. And I know at least with the Fusions, it can really, even if it's a little bit faster, I can really, creep slowly if I want to do a little bit of crawling. I've adjusted the lights a little bit. I put in a LED for the reverse, and the marker light was the brake light, they called it. So I put that into there. They had the reverse light, I think it was like in the orange, if I remember correctly. So it was like kind of reverse, or I don't remember exactly how it was, but it was wrong. It wasn't in the right spot. I had to drill the hole for this, put it there, and then this one was already here. I just had to move them around on the light controller to make them how I wanted. Also, I have the lights changed. So low beam is, well, this is off, which these are just a marker light, and these are just always on. That's like low beam, and then high beam is the high beams, and then the overhead light. I almost always honestly run it like this. I don't really change it much. The other changes are I put in Chavtex, and I'll put a thing here on how I rebuild those and what I use, just so you have an idea of what those are. Let's see. I put the locking differentials on the one button instead of being separate, because you could do front or rear, but I never do front or rear. I always do them together, so there was no point. And I wanted to free up some of the buttons here, because stock, this is for locking differentials, I believe. Wow, I already forgot. Yep. And 2-speed is here. And then this is for rear-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and front-wheel drive, which I never use. I just use usually these two. I don't need front-wheel drive. It's kind of dumb. And I trail with this a lot, so I still use the locking differentials unlocked a lot of times. These ones I have for my lights. I have some trail lights there. And then this button I have, which is right here, I have doing the lights on this. Because sometimes when I walk with the wife, walking down the road, I have them flashing so people can see us a little better. And then these can also, I think, flash, or yeah, they just do like that. And they're usually just on all the time, just for some rock lights. So that's the controller. I have this on MakerWorld. It's a file so you can thumb steer. 1500 volt milliamp battery inside, 2S LiPo. There's a file on MakerWorld, I believe it is, for this rear bumper. It tucks up the trailer hitch. I don't use a trailer, but I just, it's so it doesn't hang down as low. Tucks everything up a little bit better. It's been a little bit better on climbing. Let's see. Oh, this is, so anyways, I'll talk about I'll continue with anything aftermarket first. I almost always use it on 3S because it's Fusion and it can take it. This is one of the ones, because it's a Pro, it has the separate receiver in ESC stock. This is the stock receiver. And then I put the Pro in, like I said. I put the button over here so I can get it through the corner, so I don't have to take it out. This is, where does it go? So because I put these two together, I put them in a splitter. I then had to put one on a reverser, a servo reverser, because it was opposite, just because of how the direction that the servos are. So I had to put a reverser on one, and then had it on the splitter. So that's how they can both work at the same time. And other than that, these are just the light switches. I think that's it for aftermarket bought parts. and put on, it comes stock with the brass diff cover. That's right. It comes stock with the brass diff, like, locking mechanism cover, but it doesn't come with a brass. I put on brass portal covers and brass portal boxes because I just wanted to add a little bit more weight down low because this thing is really dirty. Sorry, I took this out when I went up to Ruggles Mine for the get together I talked about on one of my other videos. This was one of the trucks I was running, so this is covered in that's all that silver is mica dust from the mine, and there's dirt and stuff all inside of here. I washed it out, but apparently not good enough. Anyways, it's got a lot of wear. It's one of the trucks I use the most for trailing. I use this in the Red Cat Gen 7 for trailing the most. So you can see, it's got, the edges are pretty worn down. Well, you can't really see in the video, but whatever. I also have the Enjoy drive shafts in there. I didn't break any of the stock ones. I still have them, but it was just a preventative. So that's all the stuff I've bought to put on. It comes with the metal skid plate. Yeah. So anyways, onto the 3D printed parts. Some I've made myself and some I found. So this one I told you about. It's a bumper on Maker World. I'll try to remember to put the link down below for it. And that just raised up the trailer hitch. And I think it angled these. It did really good. It looks good too. I designed these diff covers to help sliding because this was literally just a solid flat spot. It just stopped. So like if you hit anything on this, it would just stop you dead. And on the front, not so much. But just you can see it's actually still. You guys can't see anything. It's small scratches and stuff. It's not easy to see on there. But anyways, I should probably turn the lights off. Might help. Anyways, just to help slide it over. And if I had to reverse, help slide over. The other thing I did was the 3D printed buckets for the LEDs in the front. These usually are just a lens and that's it. There's nothing behind it. But I have this little file. It's out in Maker World for free, just like the diff cover. But you can buy both of these on my website or on Etsy if you don't have a printer. And I sell the light harness too for it. Like I just make up a light harness that goes between these two and it goes up and over. I tuck it on the side of this latch. I tuck it down into the fender, down in there, and up and over. And then I just go with the wires for the servo and up and over. Still stock servo too. It's been fine. It's been great. The only thing I do have to, it needs a little bit of a cleaning, maintenance day. It's been well used, let's just say. And this shock apparently blew out, even though I've rebuilt it. I'm not sure what happened to that. Maybe it's one I forgot, but the other three are dry. That one's the only one. You can see all the crud on there. But then this one, even though it's dirty, it's dry. So I don't know. So anyways, so 3D print these two, the light buckets, and then I have this. Let's put it on it. This right here is a file. I broke it. It tumbled down a pretty big hill the other day, and it kind of broke. I got to print another one. This is a file in Maker World 2 that's free. You could just use this only, just the rails, put something on it, because the rail is separate than this rail, and then this is a separate basket, and then this is a separate. No, yeah. So this is the center, and it's separate. So you could just print out these rails if you want, and put your own thing between it. You could just do this in the bucket, or you could do this and that. You could, depends on what you want. You can just print whatever you want. But the stock one is so thin of plastic that you can't do anything with it. It just breaks instantly as soon as it flops over. So I designed up this one, and it's been a little better. I don't put anything up here, honestly. There's really no point for me to have it, just to have it. I thought about just taking it off and just putting some bolts in here. Honestly, it doesn't really matter, but I want to keep the lights up top. So that's why those are the stock lights. Let's see. Oh, the other thing I forgot, I do print. This print is online on Maker World. So stock, when you went to push this down, the rear would connect, no problem. But then the front, because this was see how much it moves, even with my print there, it was like a spring. And this wasn't so much the problem. It was more that this piece, there was nothing here. So this just pushed, you would push down on here and it would just kind of flop. Like there was nothing holding it. So this was like a spring, because this has to overcome the springs in this. And they're pretty stiff to hold it on. So, this all fell out. So I printed this part up. That's on Maker World. I put it up on It's funny. I put it up on the FCX10 Facebook page, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I made this thing, so it helps." Blah blah blah. And a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, it works great." And then a couple people were like, "Oh, you're just not doing it right." And then someone was like, "Oh, you just don't have the updated clips." And I'm like, "Excuse me? You can see it's the updated clips." The gray LC80 came with like pins, I think, or something. And then even FMS was like, "Oh yeah, I don't think you have the updated one." One of the guys on there. So I emailed them and I'm like, "Is there a different one than this? Like, this is the stock one that I thought was the upgrade." And they're like, "Oh, we'll send it to you." So they sent me the same exact, no, they sent me this. They sent me this and this in the rear, which this works fine. And it's the same exact thing that I have right here. So I guess I have spares. So they also sent me the arches, because this has the updated arches, whereas the other ones were kind of like this, and I think they cut down like weirdly. And then people were complaining about it, because I would too if I had gotten it like that it looked goofy. This still isn't 100% right, but it's way better than it was on the gray one in the first generation, like the first versions of these. Well, I guess this is the first generation, but you know, the first ones of these that came out. Now is a Pro V2, which they got rid of some of the stuff that's already on this one, so it's kind of weird that then they upped the KV on the motor, I believe, which there was absolutely no need for. And then they did a few other things. I don't know. I just run it. I just trail it, and this thing is very well used and very well run. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite trucks. It is heavy. It's a big truck, weight-wise, but it trails really nicely. It's smooth. It looks good, and it just works. Yeah, look at it. It's all scratched up and worn. I really need to give it a cleaning. Need to give it a maintenance and clean up that shock. I've been wanting to clean up some of the wiring too. As you saw, it's just kind of zip tied in there and bundled up, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. And wanted to put some stuff in the back here. I'm not a big scale guy, but I mean, it's not a crawler, so that's why I still have the stock tires on it, because they trail amazing, and they actually crawl halfway decent. It's not that bad, honestly, for those. And this stuff coming out of it everywhere. So I've been using the stock tires. They're wearing pretty smooth, nothing bad. This is the second bumper that comes with the stock bumper. Well, they're both stock. It comes with just a smooth stock bumper, like what you would get on an LC80 stock in the real world-ish, just a rounded, smooth steel stamp bumper. They give you this in the box separate, and you can put it on. It comes with pod lights like this almost looking, but there's no lights in them. There's no LEDs in it. I wanted these ones because they were brighter. I put lights into the pods for these, but they weren't that bright. These ones are way brighter, and this was more for when the wife and I go out for walks. It's getting late in the year now, so we haven't been lately because it's been colder and everything. But for when I do go out and do that. That's about it. I've been meaning to buy. I've never bought them before. I never bought them before, but I want to get the RC plate, rclicenseplate.com or whatever it is, customrcplate.com, and put plates on there on these. But I just haven't. I just keep forgetting about it. It's actually been on the favorite on my computer for a while, and I just keep forgetting. I love this thing. It's been great. It's been fine, and I haven't had any issues with it except anything that I've done, like breaking this. And the other thing is I do need to replace the servos in here for the locking diffs and everything. It has a servo saver on there, and the servo savers all for me, they seem to go out of alignment. Like it's almost like the spring is moving inside of the plastic, and then I have to like I can show you because I'll probably have to replace it soon. Like right now, that is locked. Well, like I can move the servo saver. It's still locked right now because I haven't moved anything. But like that, I shouldn't be able to move that. Like, and there we go. Now I've unlocked it. But like the servo didn't move. I'm just moving. Like you can see the metal spring part that does the servo saver. Oh, it's all popped off now. Has moved, and they come out of alignment all the time. So now I'm locked in again. So that's where it should be. And now when wrong one. There we go. Oh, and that was not even moving. So something's disconnected on that. Oh, right here. That would explain a lot. There we go. So see, I have them on a Y connector, and then I think this one has a, is that one? I don't remember. One of them has a reverser on it, so it goes the right direction, because if not, they'd both be going this way. And one needs to go this way, yeah. Yeah, that's about it. The only other things I've done is this wire, I had accidentally cut it by tightening the screw down too much because I was trying to adjust it, and it ripped that off. I bought some new ones off of, I think they're from like a semi truck to do rear locking diffs, and I just haven't swapped them out yet, the cables. They look like a little bit nicer cable, and they won't fray as much, I think. I haven't tried it yet. Figured I'd eventually get there. Maybe when I do my maintenance day, I'll do that, fix that shock, clean up the wiring. That'll be an episode on itself, I think. Other than that, I haven't. Stock links, stock transmission. When I first got it, I put a bigger pinion on with the stock motor, but I ended up not liking it. Put it back. It also has a weird, it has like a Traxxas thing where it's clockable with like the different bolts, but they don't tell you which bolt hole lines up for what pinion. So it's like a guessing game. And I guessed right. Luckily, when I did I think it comes with a 12 tooth stock. And I put a 14 or something on. I don't remember. Sounds right. I don't remember. 12, 14, I don't remember. But I ended up guessing correctly because you can't see it. You're just kind of hoping you're right. And it worked for a while, but I ended up with I had an extra fusion, and I wanted to put it in to have better drag brake and everything. So I swapped it in, and that's been amazing. It's been great. I do a lot of water with this, hence you can see all on here. And a couple of my shorts, if you look it up, it's going through a ton of water. I believe that's it. Just a quick little overview. I've been wanting to put this one out for a while because I see people have questions about different things or what I've done to it, and now I can just kind of refer to this instead of having to type it out individually on each thing. Because that is pretty much everything. I haven't taken, the only time I took this interior apart was to put this on. But yeah, this is broken, so I can swap this out because the bolts are here on the top. This is probably never going to break, the bar this way. And then this can be replaced with these bolts here on both sides. Just made it easier. But that's it for this. If you have any questions, shoot them down below in the comments. Happy to answer any questions. If you have any suggestions, maybe what you like on yours, what you've done to yours, throw them down there. I have no changes that I readily want to do. I like this how it is, and I don't foresee any changes in it, honestly. It's great how it is. I suggest everyone, I know people say don't get the LC80, but I think they're meaning the gray one most of the time. The price on this, I can say, is a little off, but me buying it for $90 less and having to wait a month or two or whatever it was, that made me okay with it. If I was going to do full price, yeah, questionable. I think it was like 400, like full price. I got it for like $3. I think it's been a little while now. That I can justify that. So, anyways, that's my LC80 Pro. That clicks in easy. Everyone complains, but that works fine with that spacer. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, throw them down below. Happy to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.